You've heard whispers about the so-called FHA loophole, that magical door into real estate investing with just 3.5% down. But is it actually a loophole, or is it just the system working exactly as designed? The truth is, it's neither a hack nor a scam, but a legitimate on-ramp that millions of Americans have used to build wealth. And right now, while everyone's paralyzed by rate fears and inventory concerns, you might be missing the most obvious opportunity hiding in plain sight. Here's what's really happening. The Federal Housing Administration created these loans in 1934 to help everyday people buy homes, not to subsidize investors, but the rules explicitly allow you to live in a property with up to 4 units and still qualify for that tiny down payment. So when you buy a duplex, triplex, or fourplex, move into 1 unit and rent out the others, you're not exploiting a loophole. You're house hacking within the exact parameters the program was designed for. Think of it like this. The government built a highway to homeownership, and everyone else is scared to merge into traffic. But you're just using the on-ramp they paved for you. The tension right now is that mortgage rates have climbed from the 2s and 3s to the 6s and 7s. Inventory is still tight in most markets, and first-time buyers are sitting on the sidelines waiting for some mythical perfect moment that may never arrive. Just 2 years ago, everyone was screaming that real estate was the surest bet, that rates would stay low forever, and that missing out meant financial suicide. Now the headlines have flipped suddenly. It's all doom, gloom, rising rates, and warnings that we're on the brink of another crash, and that whiplash has left most people frozen. The psychological damage is real. When conviction wavers, inaction becomes the default. And as legendary investor Howard Marks once said, the biggest investing errors come not from factors that are informational or analytical, but from those that are psychological. Yet beneath the fear, there are still investors quietly closing deals, building portfolios, and recognizing that pessimism often creates the best opportunities. History shows us this isn't new. Real estate cycles through booms and busts roughly every 7 to 10 years. And we've seen this movie before in the early 80s, the early 90s, 2008, and even during the pandemic uncertainty. Each time feels different. Each time people swear this time it's different. And each time the fundamentals eventually reassert themselves. I'll be honest, I missed the boat on house hacking back in 2015 when rates were at historic lows and my friends were buying fourplexes in emerging neighborhoods that have since doubled in value. That hesitation taught me that waiting for perfect conditions is just another form of losing. And humility means admitting that no one rings a bell at the bottom. The broader pattern is simple. Residential real estate appreciates over long horizons because population grows, land is finite, and people need places to live. Smart investors and community veterans on forums like BiggerPockets have been preaching the same gospel for decades. Buy a small multifamily with an FHA loan, live in it for a year, then repeat or refinance, slowly building a portfolio with minimal capital. Let's crush the biggest misconception right now. Using an FHA loan to house hack is not fraud, it's not gaming the system, and it won't get you in trouble as long as you genuinely occupy the property as your primary residence for at least 1 year. The FHA and lenders know exactly what you're doing, and they're fine with it. This is the intended use case. So what's the actionable takeaway from decades of market history? Buy when you can afford to, not when conditions feel perfect, because perfect never comes. Lock in real estate with leverage when you're young. Diversify across a few properties over time, and let tenants pay down your mortgage while you build equity. The smartest investors I know don't time the market. They manage position size, keep reserves for vacancies and repairs, and never overextend on a single property no matter how convinced they are. Emotion is the enemy. Process and discipline are your friends, and that means running the numbers coldly, stress testing your cash flow, and accepting that some years will be flat or negative. Here's the philosophical truth that keeps me sane. If I buy a fourplex with an FHA loan, live in 1 unit, and rent the others at break-even or slight negative cash flow, I'm still winning because I'm building equity, learning the game, and positioning myself for future opportunities. If the market dips 20% next year, I'm fine because I didn't over-leverage and I'm holding long-term. If it rips higher, I'm also fine because I'm already in. Discipline isn't about being right. It's about being prepared for multiple outcomes and sizing your bets so that no single result destroys you. Consistency beats conviction every single time. And the investors who win aren't the ones with the hottest takes. They're the ones who show up year after year, make boring, repeatable decisions, and let compounding do the heavy lifting. The irony is that while everyone's debating whether FHA house hacking is a loophole, they're missing the real point. It's just one tool in a long game, and obsessing over labels distracts from execution. The system is transparent, the rules are clear, and the opportunity is there for anyone willing to live in a multifamily property and deal with the trade-offs of being a landlord and neighbor simultaneously. At the end of the day, I'm comfortable whether this strategy works out perfectly or just okay, because I've done the math, stress tested the scenarios, and accepted that real estate is a decades-long play, not a get-rich-quick scheme. The worst outcome is that I live rent-free or rent-reduced for a year, learn property management, and build some equity, hardly a disaster. If you're ready to stop debating and start acting, head over to www.growthsense.com, where investors can find investment properties and also sell investment properties. It's a straightforward directory that connects buyers and sellers, nothing fancy, just a simple tool to help you take that first step.